Welcome Commanders family into Command Center Game Day Live. Brought to you by Northwest Federal Credit Union, the official credit union of the Washington Commanders. Now, Northwest is celebrating Game Day and thanking Commanders fans with a $400 cash bonus when you open your first ever checking account. Now, don't wait. This is a limited time offer. Visit northwestnwfcu.org/Washington to find out how you can score that cash bonus with your new checking account. And remember, stop searching and go Northwest. That's right. It is week 15. We are out here at SoFi Stadium, home of the Los Angeles Rams. You can see the Commanders gearing up for this one right out from sunny California. And these live views brought to you by Verizon. Verizon, the network Commanders rely on. Commanders family, Brian Cooper Jr. here with Super Bowl champion Brian Mitchell, Mr. 8 to the 9 Santana Ross.
We in the building.
And we in the building. We got the shades on because we in Cali, and it's a vibe. We
y'all showing me up? No, you really got the shades on because you're rocking like your boy. Let's tell the truth.
We in our Tanner today. We on our Tanner today. You know what I'm saying? I see why you doing now. It's very comfortable. Now, fellas, like we always do, got to get some memories of L.A. Now, Tanner, I know you didn't play on L.A., so I'm going to start with B-Mitch.
Yeah.
What are your memories against the Rams in general?
Well, the biggest one, Wayne Sevier, who basically gave me my shot to become a punt returner and a kick returner. So he had left Washington and came to L.A. And he had talked me up a little bit to his team, but he was telling you're not doing that on me today. Because I bet not see you diving in the end zone. Well, you know what? I broke one, and I left the ground at the 3-yard line, got to the end zone.
Yeah.
I looked at the sideline. He basically told me words I can't say on that. But I had fun with it. I mean, it was unbelievable. Also played the Raiders here when they were in L.A.
Wow.
And broke like 100-yard kick.
And you telling your age now.
The Raiders, I broke a big one there.
Now, Tanner, like you told us last night on the Saturday Night Special when we was at the fan rally, you said you actually never played in this arena, but you have played the Rams, man. What comes to mind when you think about playing the Rams?
I mean, the Rams, the first thing comes to mind, my first year, just knowing when I first got into the league in 2001, they was the greatest show on turf.
Yeah.
You watching those guys over there, Bruce, Torrey Holt, Isaac Akeem, those guys was, really action-packed. One of those, you sit back and you have your popcorn. And then we had London Fletcher over there playing linebacker. Yeah. So those are some of my memories. But also, when I got a chance to play against them, I got a couple of touchdowns in there. When we was in old St. Louis, I had my way over in the St. Louis Stadium, but I was happy to see them come back to LA. Yes. I remember them as a kid growing up watching Eric Dickerson, running high, keeping that ball high and tight. That's some of the things that I grew up watching, and it was great to see them come back, get that old color back, and just, now, I wish I would have had a chance to play against them, but I was well long gone out the league by then.
Well, definitely this Rams team is just as exciting. A lot of weapons. We're going to get into all of that. But off the top, Jamin Davis inactive, not playing the rest of the year. B-Mitch, how do we recover from that loss?
Well, what's going to happen, Jamin was your best cover linebacker. And somebody else is going to have to try and step up. And if not, you may have to drop Cam Curl on some of those side ends and things like that. They have people that can get it done, but they like to do a lot. Jamin ran 4-4. Yeah. So they're going to try to put him on the tight ends and things like that, running backs out the backfield. You have some safeties on this team that can cover. So you may have to drop some of those guys down and allow them to do the job he was doing.
Well, people go down every day, B.
Every
day. But now, honestly, I mean, this is how guys like, B-Mitch became B-Mitch. Getting the opportunity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody has that opportunity sooner or later. And I think, yes, we're going to miss Jamin because he's one of those guys that went out there. And as much as people want to talk about our team and our defense as a whole and how much that linebacker position is still something that we need to, put some more guys there, some more bodies there, he's been the one bright spot. But now it's someone that's going to get the opportunity. Maybe it's Hudson, whoever it is in the lineup that's going to get that chance to shine. You got 4 games to do it.
Yeah. And we're going to talk more about these inactives a little later in the show. We got a list coming from our social media team. They're going to let us know because there's some guys inactive. There's also a guy that's playing, but we're going to talk about that a little more. First thing, though, we had one of the latest bye weeks in the NFL.
Yeah.
We've talked a lot about the bye week and how much time this team needed to just kind of get back on track. How important is a bye week, B-Mitch?
Well, it's important when you have people that were banged up like they did.
Yeah.
And things weren't working well. You hope you can reset in the bye week, and they had an opportunity now. They've been out, so maybe Ron got a chance to look at what he really wants to do defensively. Some of the guys on offense, they looked at what they need to do to better attack Aaron Donald. Yeah. We saw him over there working out earlier. The left sideline, they got to figure out a way to do their best job. It's 4 games.
Yeah.
And for a lot of guys, it's a 4-game interview.
Yes.
And you're going to figure out what you're going to get next year, whether you're going to be somewhere, be here, or not be in the league at all. So that's what a lot of guys are facing.
Yeah, I think bye weeks are very important when you have guys that's down, and especially going through the season that we was going through. You need to kind of reboot, and freshen up and come back, and try to take on that season. But also, depending on when you have your bye week, it can hurt you.
Yes.
You could come out sluggish, and we've seen many times where our teams came out and it took a quarter or two for those guys to get back in rhythm. So I'm hoping that the offense and defense and the special teams, that staff basically telling these guys, making sure they are aware of it. Like, look, we can't come out timid. We can't come out flat, because I remember a bye week or two where Howell was making sure that we was focused on that. We got off that bye. He said, look, we can't afford to come out lackadaisical. These guys has been playing. They're coming in our home red hot. We in these guys' home. Yeah. We can't come out, tiptoeing, because these guys are red hot. They lost last week in overtime to a great team in the Ravens. So we can't come out here and try to get our feel our way through this game. We got to attack all 4 quarters.
And before the bye week, Ron Rivera took over the defensive play calling.
Yeah.
How important is it for the coaching staff to have a bye week like this, especially Ron Rivera, who's also showing, hey, I can still call these defensive plays?
Well, he's a veteran coach, but ultimately he was calling for the first time in like 5-6 years.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, he wanted to switch up some things, simplify for the guys. So it gave him a chance to have a better hold on it, and also to be able to deliver that message to the team.
Yeah, I think it's very important. I mean, one of the things that, stood out, and I love talking football, chopping it up with Fred and Logan. They pointed out some things about the defense looking a little faster, looking a little quicker, and that's something that he said. He wanted to simplify things. So now you get an extra, I can say 2 weeks now to kind of simplify this a little more and make sure they coming out and they knowing their keys, they knowing their clues, and they be able to go out there and attack.
And we talked about this a little bit last night, but on this inactive list is our running back, Brian Robinson Jr. We know how important he is to this offense. How do we recover from the loss of Brian Robinson Jr.?
Well, the thing of it right now, as Hannah mentioned earlier, people get opportunities in situations like this. Brian Robinson has been playing very, very well.
Yes.
All of a sudden now, Antonio Gibson's get a better chance to go. Okay, Chris Rodriguez, he get a chance to go out there and go. And I think, like, even for those guys, these last 4 games could be also your showcase.
Yeah.
So you're going to miss Brian. Brian brings a different tenacity than most of those guys. But they have watched him run. They know how he hits a hole, and they may have to follow it. I remember one time I was running the ball against the Minnesota Vikings. I came to the sideline, and Ernest Bynum was like, man, I see now.
Yeah.
He said, I'm always trying to be patient to get through the hole. You just hit it.
Yeah.
And I said, well, that's where return punts and kicks. You got to get through it for shuts.
Mm-hmm.
And he changed his game because of that. That was a veteran guy.
Yeah.
So it's some things that Brian has done can help out both of those guys in the running aspect of the game.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's going to be one of those situations where, we're going to miss him. We're going to miss the way he played the game, the way he approached the game. But I also think, this is why you have depth. This is why you have guys that can come off the bench and do some of the things that he can do. Not only do we have one guy, we have 2 guys that can do, basically what Brian does. Now, he like he said, his tenacity is a lot different than this guy.
For sure.
But you have a guy in Rodriguez that hit that hole hard. He's a rookie, and he's showing you he can average 4 or 5 yards a carry. Then you have AG, who's chopping at the bits, waiting for the opportunity to show the team or any other team that he can still be a number 1 threat. So I think it's a great opportunity. You here in Hollywood, where the stars are out. So go out here and shine. Go out here and be that difference maker on our offense when we have one of our guys down.
And all season we've talked about it, right? That next man up mentality. Can't wait to see who the next man up is today and who gets off. We're going to talk more about this offense. We're going to talk more about this defense. But before that, we have to send it to a Hall of Famer in London, a future Hall of Famer in London Fletcher. I'm tuning in the atmosphere. I'm putting it in the atmosphere.
There you go.
It's time for the best seat in the house, presented by SeatGeek, official primary ticketing partner of the Washington Commanders. London, preview this matchup for us, baby.
Out here at beautiful SoFi Stadium, about to give you my preview as we get set to take on the Los Angeles Rams. We're coming off our bye week, looking to snap a 4-game losing streak against a Rams team that has won 3 out of their last 4 ball games. As we look into this ball game and you say, hey, what are things we must do in order to come out here and get a victory? First and foremost, you got to be able to stop Aaron Donald. He is a one-man wrecking crew. The Rams defense, they're not great in any particular category, but they do have one great future Hall of Famer player, and that's Aaron Donald. And we can come up with a way to neutralize him. I say neutralize him with kind of a tongue-in-cheek, because there's no way to truly neutralize this guy. If you can get him blocked, there will be opportunities against the Rams secondary. I really like our matchup match up with the receivers, our receivers, against their defensive backs. You get Aaron Donald blocked up, we will be able to take advantage of some opportunities. The defensive backs for us, they're going to face a major challenge with Puka, Nacua, and Cooper Kupp, two of the top receivers in the National Football League. Nacua's really burst on the scene as a rookie. We're going to have our hands full dealing with those guys, and they also have a running game in Kyron Williams. He's really been running the ball hard, extremely hard the last few ball games. We do those things, stop the run, neutralize Puka, Nacua, and Cooper Kupp in the passing game. We put us in ourselves a great opportunity to come out here and get back on the win streak, and that's the way you want to do it coming off a bye week. Thanks, guys.
Always great to hear from our guy, London Fletcher, who is a finalist for this year's Pro Football Hall of Fame. When looking at career numbers like this, it looks like this man deserves a gold jacket. Fellas, talk about London and his career in the burgundy and gold.
I mean, what more could I say? I think we've been kind of now reiterating some of the things that is already out there. They know, you know what I mean? So my take on everything and anything that we can say about London is that it's time. Put them in. You know what I mean? I think the number speaks for itself. The guy speaks for it. And when it comes to, you know, I get caught up in the whole thing when I hear about individual awards. You know, you give guys individual praise to go to Pro Bowls. You give guys individual praise or acknowledgement to be Hall of Famers. But it always kind of boils down to what did the team do? Because his team wasn't getting a lot of attention because they wasn't winning, so we didn't look. No, the numbers. It's all about what he did individually regardless of that. So that's one of the things that bothers me a lot about, you know, when we're trying to talk about these guys who are deserving of this award. You can't now, let's say the team wasn't good enough, so that's why we haven't really, you know, had that many talks or discussions about him. No, the number speaks for itself. He's in the
and his team did well. I mean, let's be real. He had Super Bowl wins.
Yeah, he had one.
And that's the ultimate thing about it. But like when it comes down to is how dominant were you? Did they have to keep their eyes on London Fletcher and know where he was? Yes. He played 16 years. Didn't miss games. You know, so I think a lot of times people don't understand what it takes at that position, a smaller person for to play that position and to play that long. So, listen, man, yes, he's supposed to be in there and they should go ahead and get him in.
He belongs in there. Shout out to London. He will be joining us later in the show to talk some more about the defense. But until then, let's look at the odds for this game. It's time for the most rewarding odds bid by Fanatics Sportsbook, the most rewarding sportsbook. Now, Washington are underdogs by 6.5 points with a money line of plus 240 and an over-under of 48.5 points. That's your odds for you. Now let's check out what we have next on Command Center Game Day Live. When we come back, we will have Logan Paulson and Fred Smoot joining us to chat about this Commanders offense and what they can do to contain the Rams superstar defensive tackle Aaron Donald. And London Fletcher will be joining us, as I said earlier, one of the best parts of the show, hashtag left hand up. That's right, during the break, be sure to leave your hashtag left hand up in the comments for a chance to have your questions answered in LA by some legends. This is Command Center on the road in Los Angeles, brought to you by Northwest Federal Credit Union, the official credit union of the Washington Commanders. Northwest is celebrating game day and thanking Commanders fans with a $400 cash bonus when you open your first ever checking account. That's right, $400. Now, this is a limited time offer, so do not wait. Visit northwestnwfcu.org/Washington to find out how you can score that cash bonus with your new checking account. Stop searching and go Northwest. Commanders family, we'll be right back after this short break, but we will leave this live look up for you, so there's no reason to go anywhere. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
Dad, we're gonna be late.
Can't stop adding stuff to your cart? Get the Bank of America customized cash rewards card. Choose the online shopping category and earn 3% cash back.
The final stone of the championship.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary.
Roger, this is looking good.
We believe every moment in sports should be epic.
Are you watching this?
Is that curling? No.
This morning's news, curling fever has taken over the world.
So whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
My darling granddaughter, this camera was given to me when I was your age. May it capture your big, beautiful life the way it did mine.
It's so surprising what the little things can do. Wouldn't it be wonderful if everybody...
Oh, Merry Christmas, Grandma.
VetTix secures unused event tickets to give back to the military and veteran community. The mission? To strengthen family bonds, build lifelong memories, and encourage service members and vets to stay engaged in their community. Giving out over 15 million tickets since 2008, VetTix continues to give something to those who gave. To find out how you can help give once-in-a-lifetime experiences to our veterans, service members, and their families, visit vettix.org today.
Oh, game's on. We need more chips. More dip, too.
More?
Yes, more. Oh, that reminds me. We can still score that $400 bonus from Northwest if we hurry. It's with your first ever checking account.
$400? That's the kind of more I like.
Then let's do it. But first, more chips.
To earn bonus, open first ever checking account and deposit at least $500 in ACH or direct deposits per month within the first 90 days. Offer ends November 30. Details at nwfcu.org. Insured by NCUA.
One bag.
The winter play was really coming together. Until disaster struck. Tensions were high. Luckily, replacement costumes were shipped with FedEx, which means Mr. Harvey could picture the perfect night. We're delivering more happy for the holidays.
Have fun, sis.
Can't stop adding stuff to your cart? Get the Bank of America customized cash rewards card. Choose the online shopping category and earn 3% cash back.
Welcome back, Commanders family, into Command Center Game Day Live, presented by Northwest Federal Credit Union, the official credit union of the Washington Commanders. Here's a live look at the Commanders gearing up for a Week 15 matchup with the Los Angeles Rams here at SoFi Stadium. Our live field cameras presented by Verizon. Verizon, the network Commanders rely on. Beautiful day out here. We have the dome covering us, but the sun is still shining. The high is 76 degrees with a low of 57 degrees. 2% chance of precipitation and 4-mile-per-hour winds.
Where the
that
precipitation
is our game day
from?
forecast presented by NBC
That's
Sports.
outside. That's
we
not
are working for you. And you know what, fellas? Like I said, the weather is nice, but out in Ashburn, our guys, Fred and Logan, they don't have the best weather out there. It's a little chilly, and y'all know better than anybody. That studio is cold as heck.
Yes, it is.
Let's send it over to Fred Smoot and Logan Paulson, who are going to talk about this defense.
Yeah, Brian, it is a little cold out here. I think the Hawk outside?
Is it hot?
The Hawk outside.
You know it.
All right, so let's talk about this Rams defense going against the Commanders offense. Obviously, a couple big playmakers, not quite the same group it was. One guy in particular, Aaron Donald. How do you slow him down?
First of all, how much attention is he going in? Is he over Chris Paul? Is he over Sam Cosmi? Do you got the center? The thing we know about Aaron Donald, we usually shade the offensive line to his side, and that allows them to blitz from the other side. So he's going to be the guy with the attention, but also know they're going to make plays off of him.
Yeah, and I think what Aaron Donald gives you is he gives you an opportunity as a defensive coordinator to say, hey, this is where the slide's going. We can attack the man side with pressure. So what's our plan versus some of this pressure that they bring? Not a heavy pressure team, but they bring enough of it to make you nervous. What's the plan with those 5-man protection surfaces that EB likes to use? Got to be dialed in on that stuff. The thing I noticed when I watched the film, Fred, lot of coverage busts in the back.
Big plays to be
right?
made.
So if you're Sam, if you're EB, and you're coming up with a game plan, what are you thinking in terms of how to get them into those bad situations more often?
Well, first of all, you come to the line, you find Aaron Donald. You make sure that assignment is handled first. No protection, no way to get the ball down the field. But I would do everything I'm seeing the other teams do. I'm a motion in, I'm a motion out. I'm going to make them play assignment football, which they're not good at because they're young. So if they're not communicating and you undress the coverage, I think EB and I think Sam will have a chance to push the ball down the field.
And they run that same coverage that Miami runs, that man match. And Miami ran it great. They don't run it so good. What are some of the issues with that man match coverage? Have you ever played in the man match?
Most definitely. When you go for vertical, the safeties don't know who to match to. Like especially when you get a guy curling up at 15, stopping like that. So it's one of those things, if you don't communicate it, that you can't match the route patterns. And that's what offensive coordinators take advantage of that by cutting off routes, by making sure they stagger people. And you know, we talked about that triangle in that box. At the end of the day, bringing people in tight. to run out routes.
Absolutely. And so obviously there's some stuff we got to see. I'm really excited to see this offense, how they come together. Terry, Jahan making plays. You mentioned attacking those coverage. You mentioned taking care of Aaron Donald. Can't wait to check it out today. Really excited.
This is our week.
Get down for us out in Virginia, but fellas, we are out in LA, and you heard them talking about containing the man that is Aaron Donald. So let's get right into this offensive line. What do they have to do today to be successful against the Rams?
Contain Aaron Donald. The thing about it, we watch the kid work out. He has a motor, man. He's going to come at you from all angles all day. He doesn't stop. No matter if it's a double team, triple team, he's going to keep going. What you got to do with him is make it physical. Make it a tough job for him. Don't allow him to give you a move and get past you. And you can't block him one-on-one, so the other guy, make sure he feels it. You know, he has like a growing thing, but he's going to play today. See if he's supposed to be out here. I mean, I'm not saying do nothing dirty, but you got to put that extra weight, that extra power onto him and make him understand it's going to be a fight all day.
Yeah, well, you know, when I was on the plane coming over here yesterday, I saw Pastor Brett, and I said, oh, that's great to see him here because now I know we have our chaplain, so they're going to have a little, you know, Bible study either the night before the game.
A little prayer.
So I'm hoping in that Bible study they all just said a prayer, made us come out of this thing, you know, without seeing too much of this guy, you know, causing hack. But no, honestly, I think one of the things we have to do offensively, you know, Aaron Donald's going to be Aaron Donald. And whether we're going to put a single man on him, double team, triple, whoever, just go out and do your job, man, the best you can do. And at the end of the day, be mindful that when we are in those settings where we have to drop back, we got to get the ball out a little quicker because he's going to make you speed up. Your clock has to speed up just knowing he's on the field. And then when we're not, let's run at him, run away from him, do some of those things. I think we need a great mix on offense to have the production I think we need on our offense, because if we just drop him back, then you get this guy more opportunities to go out there and tee off on you. So I'm hoping we're not in one of those settings where we're just seeing these guys having to drop back time and time again, trying to play catch up. I want to see a great rhythm, a great flow in this offense that tells me that we have control of what we want to do. We're dictating to them what we want to do, and if we're dictating the flow of the game, then we're not going to hear a lot of Aaron Donald names being called.
And B-Miss Tanner mentioned getting the ball out quickly, right? That's on Sam Howell. We talked about this bye week. What do you expect to see from Sam Howell after getting his first bye week as a full-time starter?
You know, I hope those things that we've been talking about, and I'm sure his coaches are talking about getting the ball out a little quicker. If you don't see something on that first deep read, dump it off. If he can just go out there and just do it. Listen, I've been looking at different quarterbacks, okay? Tommy DeVito, Brock Purdy, the kid Browning in Minnesota. I mean, in Cincinnati. What are they doing? They're all quickly getting the ball into the hands of their playmakers. If you do that, great things are going to work out for you. You don't have to go out there and try to force the issue by waiting for the long ones down the field. Let that ball go quick. If it goes quick, it gets into their hands, it works out. You don't, like, what was it? Cam Newton talking about all these quarterbacks are game managers. That's what you should be. You manage the game by getting it to the open guy, get it to the fast guy. Guys will help you. But if you think you're just a big-time quarterback by throwing it deep all the time, waiting for the big one all the time, you end up in a damn hospital somewhere. So Sam is a smart enough kid, I think, to understand I need to just speed this thing up a little bit. He gets to it sometimes, but he just waits for it too long.
Oh, Sam just need to be a great conductor. I think that's being a great manager. You have to be a great conductor. I think that's what we're going to need to see from him, especially today. And especially coming off a bye where he had time to reflect. You know, he went through a span of games where just before those last 4 weeks, we was talking about this guy, we found our guy. And then now you have to go through the ups or the down, rather, of them saying, well, maybe he's not the guy. Just come out here, man, play your game, but be a conductor, lead, get the ball in the right hands, and even if you can't get the ball to the right guy, make the right decision. You know what I mean? Get rid of the football, throw it at someone's feet, because you understand, you feel that pressure, you feel that, you know, that clock is going off, you have to speed things up. But more than anything, man, run the team. Be that guy. Be that manager that Cam Newton's talking about. He can be just that. That's all we need from him. Because he's going to have an opportunity or two to throw something deep. And when that time comes, it's because he did what he did underneath. and now those guys are up.
Yep.
Now you can hit them deep.
Yep, and you said it perfectly, so I'm going to stick with you, Santana. You said get it to the right guy.
Yeah.
Well, that right guy 9 times out of 10 is Terry McLaurin. What do y'all expect to see from our guy, Terry McLaurin?
Man, I'm hoping we get him going early and often. I think when you watched us play Philly that first game, we went after those first three possessions. Get the ball in his hands. You know, you don't understand as a receiver how valuable that is to give me a slip screen or a hitch or a slant, something that is easy, like a walk in the park kind of catch, because now you can throw anything at me. It's almost like that basketball player that's getting to the hole and shoot those layups.
There you go.
Man, I'm shooting to the Red Sea when I start shooting my jumpers. So I want him to start touching that ball early and often, because now we can get him going. Then there's no telling what our offense can go.
He's not a brash guy. He's not going to say anything.
Yeah.
He internalizes, and then you can see he comes out. I think Terry is ready to go. You know, I watched him earlier at breakfast, and he was in that zone, over by himself, and that's when you can see a guy like him, just like an Art Monk. They go into that personal zone back here, and they come out, they're going to show you. A lot of times, a lot of fans make comments and different things like that, and there are players that get destroyed by it. Not Terry.
Yeah.
He's going to come out fighting, you know, and I think when he comes out fighting, when he wants to prove a point, he normally does.
And Terry is definitely going to prove a point. And I think it's time to show Terry a little bit more love with our air power. That's right, Terry is our air power. It's time for air power presented by Air National Guard, proud partner of the Washington Commanders. Now, Terry McLaurin sits atop the ranks of the Commanders roster. The receiver leads Commanders with 694 yards off of 60 receptions. Terry and quarterback Sam Howell have connected 2 times in the end zone so far this season, and we're hoping to see a lot more today. Santana, what do you make of this Pro Bowl receiver, and why is he so special?
I think just his grit. One of the things he talked about growing up in Indianapolis, you know, watching Marvin Harrison and watching the Colts. But, you know, when you know about Indianapolis, that nap town, they have a different mantra about going after their business. You know what I mean? So his upbringing is to me, is what molded him into to be the guy that he is as a receiver. He never had it easy. Going into college, you know, the head coach told him in Ohio State, yeah, you're in my camp, but I don't think we're gonna offer you. I need to see you catch some more baskets. He went and did just that. So he had to go earn that. Then you come into the league, you made it to the highest point of your career that you can go out there and live out this dream of being an NFL player. And they tell you, well, everybody said coming in, oh, he's going to be a special teams guy, maybe a third receiver at best. He comes in, he's been number 1 ever since. So he's showing you that if you go out there, what you truly want, you can become him. You can become successful at anything. And that's what makes it special to me. He just showed you from day one, way before I even known him, that he was going to go after it, and he's been going after it ever since.
He was a guy who was a top special teams player in the draft.
Yep.
Which means what? He knows how to work. Yeah. He doesn't mind blocking. He doesn't mind running the route when the ball's not coming to him. And when the ball goes to him, he normally makes a play.
Yeah.
So he's that type of guy that does everything. He's a team-oriented guy, first of all. I think that makes him special because we watch the receivers and we watch the people like Fred. You'll be hearing from Fred later. The 2 positions that got the most showboaters in the world. Terry's not that. He just makes a play and go back until somebody starts talking trash to him.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to try to take that and like, well, they don't believe in me anymore. And go out there and show that.
Yeah. And it's so great hearing you guys talk about Terry. I think we could say so many great things about him. And it was really cool, Tana, because you and London Fletcher got a chance to talk to Terry on the Players Club. And since we in Hollywood, it's only right we give y'all a clip of the Players Club. Check it out with Terry McLaurin.
What was that moment like for you when you realized you were being the nominee for the Walter Payton Man of the Year award?
Yeah, man, I was super surprised and honored at the same time. I think the emotion really came from like seeing it all played back. Like that video the content team did was really, really good because when you're in the moment, you know what I mean? Whether it's football or just everyday life, it's hard to have a bird's eye view of what's going on, good or bad, you know what I mean? And so when I got to see that video and see all like the kids I've genuinely started building relationships with, their families, their guardians, you know what I mean? Just the Commanders and how they've supported me. It just all hits like I'm just thankful, man. Like I'm extremely blessed. You know what I mean? Like obviously football, that stuff comes and goes. You're gonna have ebbs and flows in your career. It happens, but having something where you're just nominated for such a prestigious award, where people see how much you care about your community. I think it's more so than just wanting to have an impact, but I want people to know that I care for them, and I want to create opportunities and provide resources that really help them become the best versions of themselves. And to be nominated is my trophy, honestly. Like, even if I don't win, it's all good, man, because my purpose behind all this is to leave a lasting impact in this community, and it's something I'm extremely passionate about. I believe I'm truly on this earth to use football as a platform, but more so just to better other people's lives in any way that I can. And so to see how God's blessed me to use, like, saw me good enough to use to help the people in this community and the way they've embraced me, and that was a super cool moment. So I'm excited to be a part of the festivities come the end of the season with that. Win, lose, or draw, I just think that was a super dope.
Man, it was so cool to hear you guys talking to Terry. Not only does he get it done on the field, he gets it done out in the community as well with his Terry McLaurin Foundation. Fans, you have a chance to cast your vote for Terry as your favorite Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee. The player with the most votes can earn a donation for their charity. Voting ends January 8th, so be sure to check out the link on your screen to vote. Now, we got to go to break, but when we come back from this short break, we're getting into the spirit of being in LA with a stroll down the Hollywood Walk of Fame and talking about who needs to shine for the Commanders in the game. Beavis, I feel like you got a Hollywood Walk of Fame star somewhere. You definitely do. Commanders family, stay tuned to Command Center Game Day Live, presented by Northwest Federal Credit Union, the official credit union of the Washington Commanders. It's the only, that's right, the only Commanders pregame show which has your field pass to the action. And we will not let you miss a moment, even during this commercial break. So don't go nowhere. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
The most rewarding sports book is here. With Fanatic Sportsbook, you can earn fan cash back on every bet you make. 5% on same-game parlays, 3% on parlays, 1% on straight bets. You can spend fan cash on jerseys, hats, bonus bets, and more. So win or lose, you always get something back. Welcome to the most rewarding sportsbook. Start earning fan cash now.
My darling granddaughter, this camera was given to me when I was your age. May it capture your big, beautiful life the way it did mine.
It's so surprising what the little things can do. Wouldn't it be wonderful if everybody...
Oh, Merry Christmas, Grandmother.
Oh, game's on. We need more chips. More dip, too.
More?
Yes, more. Oh, that reminds me. We can still score that $400 bonus from Northwest if we hurry. It's with your first ever checking account.
$400? That's the kind of more I like.
Then let's do it. But first, more chips.
To earn bonus, open first ever checking account and deposit at least $500 in ACH or direct deposits per month within the first 90 days. Offer ends November 30. Details at nwfcu.org. Insured by NCUA.
Hey, grab me one too.
Prince George's County.
Working for you. Let's go get some breakfast.
Let's go give someone some coffee.
Go make somebody's morning.
How are you?
Barging in.
Want some free coffee in the community? Okay.
I don't want anything else but Channel 4. My family.
We are literally working for you. Who wants hash browns? Order up.
This is the team that helps me rise and shine.
We love News 4 Today. We're News 4 Today. Working for you.
The final stone of the championship.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary.
Roger, this is looking good.
We believe every moment in sports should be epic.
Is that curling? Nah.
This morning's news, curling fever has taken over the world.
So whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Cool. Welcome back, Commanders family, to Command Center Game Day Live, presented by Northwest Federal Credit Union, the official credit union of the Washington Commanders. We are just an hour away from kickoff here at SoFi Stadium, where the Commanders are getting warmed up for a meeting with the Rams. These live views are brought to you by Verizon. Verizon, the network Commanders rely on. Brian Cooper Jr. back here with Brian Mitchell, Santana Moss. And fellas, on Command Center, we had talked about the movie matchup, right? Because we're in Hollywood. What matchups, right? Tanner, you had DC versus Marvel. Talk to us about why you had that.
Versus Marvel, Justice League versus X-Men. I think the best of the best. You know, Hollywood to me, you know, when you think about Hollywood being up here, you think about the colors of the Rams, it's just like they're the Marvel guys, they X-Men.
Yeah.
You know, that look like, you know, a Professor X, Sean McDay, you know, Wolverine, you know, Matthew Stafford. You know, they have the guys, Colossus. Yeah. That's Aaron Donald. You know, they have those guys.
This whole movie.
He got
they
it right.
have those guys, and then you say the DC guys, you know, the Justice League. Superman, Batman, you name it, Green Lantern. I feel like we got those guys. We have guys that you can't really, you know, pinpoint their names, but they can do it all. You know what I mean? So it's the best against the best. But we up here in their world. Let's see if we can take them down.
Let's see if we can take them down.
For me, I was watching a movie coming out here, 12 Strong Men.
Oh.
It's about these Green Berets that went into Afghanistan. And I look at that, their captain was a guy who had never gone into combat before.
Wow.
Sam Howell, first year going through all this stuff. But as he went through it, he figured out a way to get them. They went there. 12 of them went there. And they met up with this one general, and they went through Afghanistan taking care of the Taliban.
Yeah.
Okay? And at the end of the story, 12 guys came back by following their fearless leader, the young dude that they didn't think had any experience fighting. I believe this. They think that the Rams are invincible.
Yeah.
They're rolling in. We've lost the people. But guess what? We go in there, we have the right mindset. Don't make the mental mistakes. We can overtake them just like they did in that movie.
Yes. I like that, B-Mitch.
Like
Quick on your feet, man. That was really good. Now, we're going to keep the Hollywood theme going, especially for this hitting the road. It's time to hit the road, brought to you by Northwest Federal Credit Union, the official credit union of the Washington Commanders. And we thank you so much, Northwest Federal Credit Union, for getting us out here in Los Angeles, funding us, making sure we're good, making sure we're comfortable.
Yes,
and, fellas, I see you guys have some stars in your hand right here.
Yeah,
like I said, we're keeping it Hollywood thing, Hollywood Walk of Fame. B-Mitch, I'm going to start with you. Who needs to be a star in today's game?
Well, as I look at the offense today, I think the star needs to be the guy we just finished talking about, Terry McLaurin. When I look at Terry, I think he's that guy. This is a big game, big player, big-time player step up in big-time game. You got to go out there and make sure he gets involved. Terry be my guy on offense.
Tanner, who you got?
And the only way Terry gonna get that done is Sam Howell. Be that guy. If Terry gotta have a day, then Sam gotta have a day. Sam gotta go out there, like I said before, be that conductor, be that manager, be that guy that, hey, we don't need the home runs. We need you to manage this ball up and down the field, put it in the right hands at the right time, keep it out of harm's way, and when we need you to finish, finish. I want to see a lot of Terry, but Sam gotta be that guy to do so.
All right, B-Mitch, who you got next?
And on defense, I'm going to guy Jonathan Allen. You know what? They've been running the ball very well. The Rams have been running the ball. We look at the Rams, we think about, a passing team, but they run the ball very effectively. And I think one of the dynamic duo has to go out there and lead the way. That's Jonathan Allen. Clog it up, make them have to throw the ball.
Well, you know where that's joy, because that's Jonathan. That J stands for joy.
Yeah.
There's Payne. I have to see my boy Payne have a day. I think when Jonathan doing his thing, Payne has to do his thing. But together, collectively, if one of them do it, I'm okay with that, because that means one taking up the attention so the other one can go out there and get off. Payne has to be that difference maker. I'm tired of these people talking about, well, since you got rid of those guys on the outside, Chase and Tez, I haven't seen the line get after nobody. Today is that day. Go get him, Payne.
And then B-Mitch, your favorite.
Well, my
special
favorite special teams. And I think this, nobody would think about it, but I'm going with Tress Way.
Yeah.
Because this game is played, it's a field position game. Tress Way is going to have to flip the field sometime, pin them back, make some big punts. People don't look at that yardage that you see there, 50, 60, 70 yards on special teams. Tress Way is one of the best in the league, probably the best punter in the league. If he can keep backing them up, keep flipping the field when we have the time to do that, all of a sudden now they got a long way to go, and we allow Joy and Payne to get after them.
Oh, he ain't lying. And, you know, when you think about special teams, when you're playing against this team, this offense, they're in the top 10 when it comes to consecutive, first downs, getting first downs. So they know how to get first downs. So when you're getting first downs on their offense, it's hard for us to get out there and have an opportunity. But I think today would be one of those days where it might take us a little lightly and our defense fly around. So they're going to have to punt the ball. And when they do, Jamison Crowder.
Yes, sir.
Jamison Crowder has sparked us before when we came into enemy territory when we was in Atlanta. We're now in enemy territory again in L.A. You know the old veteran want to shine.
Yep.
I know he wants to be that guy that he showed them guys a long time ago he can be. So I think Jamison Crowder will be a star if he get a couple opportunities today.
How did they lose last week?
Jorian Payne like sunshine and rain,
against
baby. Jorian Payne. Now, we saw those stars. First of all, shout out to Anna, our producer, for making those lovely stars that you guys had.
Oh, that's Anna's work?
That's Anna's
Appreciate
work right there.
you,
You know how
She didn't just give us paper. She laminated it. She made sure it was going to work. It was raining out here. That thing was going to still stay.
We appreciate all producers so much. And speaking of stars, it is your chance to get your favorite Commander stars into the Pro Bowl, and we are going to tell you how. From now until December 25th, Christmas Day, head over to commanders.com/Pro Bowl to vote for your favorite Commanders in the 2024 Pro Bowl games. You can also vote using the hashtag Pro Bowl vote and player's name to get your guys to Orlando, and that will be on X. You can put those votes there. Fellas, y'all were some stars, and y'all were also Pro Bowlers. Give me some of your favorite Pro Bowl memories as Coach Ron Rivera walks behind us.
Well, when I went to the Pro Bowl, I love Hawaii.
Yeah.
And I think all the opportunities, we had opportunities to go around, meet different people, make extra money.
Yeah.
But the ultimate thing was
good.
to have, this was my family was there, but I had a chance where we could nominate a teacher. And I nominated my cousin, Miss Carolyn Brown, for Teacher of the Year.
Yeah.
And her sister, Marilyn. Carolyn won, Marilyn was second place.
Wow.
And she got to go to Hawaii for a week because of me. And she told me it's the best trip of her life.
Yeah.
She and my cousin, her son, hung out there. And just knowing, because she got me into being able to talk in front of people.
Yeah.
I was shy as a ninth grader. That is gone. And that's all because of Ms. Brown.
I couldn't imagine that.
At all.
Well, going to the Pro Bowl was one of those moments where it was like almost surreal for me. I think my first 4 years in New York, I had been an alternate twice. My first year as a punt returner, and then my second time as a wide receiver. And so when I got here, my first year, the season I had, I knew it was a shoo-in for me to go because, when I was young back in those days, the older guys would say, hey, you have to go out there and show them you can do this twice before they give you the nod. Yep. So I felt like I did it twice at two different positions. Now I'm getting this opportunity. So when I went, it was something that I didn't take for granted. The only thing that I hated, I put on myself, I told myself that I wouldn't take a vacation to Hawaii unless it was Pro Bowl, and for some odd reason, I didn't go back. So I'm like, why would I shoot myself in the mouth and foot? But it was a moment and a memory that I'll never forget. I always cherish. I had a lot of family members come up. I had a lot of friends there with me, and like I said before, I didn't take it for granted, and I had fun. And I won. We won, so I got the $40,000, even though I don't know where it went at.
Get that money. Now, Phyllis, you saw the guys run behind us. They are back on the field.
Yeah.
I'm going to put you on the spot. Who is one guy that you would send to the Pro Bowl from this Commanders team?
I'm going with Burgess. I mean, he came in here, and the guy had been in the league three years or so, and he came in and found a way. He found his niche to make himself play. And right now, he's one of the top 5 vote getters when it comes down to the Pro Bowl. But you watch him out there. We watch where the ball is all the time.
Yeah.
If you watch where the ball is on special teams, Burgess is probably right there tackling somebody. Yeah. So I'll put him.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things I found out by being a player, I'm sure B. Mitch know this, when you have enough Pro Bowl notches on your belt, you don't have to really go out there and dominate, but just be some of what they saw last time you went there, and you may get a nod. This season hasn't gone the way that we expected it, but guys like Payne, if they finish well when it comes to sacks, they might get another nod. Guys like Allen, the same thing. Terry might be a little harder because the receivers is one of those games where guys are putting up numbers. But then another guy, Tress Way, I believe, regardless of what he does, man, he sometimes come out of these games the MVP. He giving us an opportunity to pin that team back. So I won't be surprised if a guy like Tress get a nod because he's just been that guy every year you can count on, and he's been a Pro Bowler all his career.
2 special team nods right there.
There you go. I like it, man. There you go. Yeah. Now, one guy that I really think has Pro Bowl talent is Kendall Fuller, right? He's been a leader for this very young secondary, and I actually got a chance to sit down with Kendall Fuller. So let's check out our Never Ordinary interview presented by Bet365. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. What makes Kendall Fuller never ordinary?
What makes Kendall never ordinary? That's a deep question.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's what we do here at the Next Man Up.
I mean, for me, the only thing I can think of is just accredited to God.
Yeah.
And just, the things that he's doing in my life, the changes that he's made in my life and the person that I am today, I accredit it to him, and just the person that he's refining me to be. And it's been a blessing to be able to experience a life, a life to where I'm able to just honor God and try to worship him and praise him as much as possible.
Amen to that. Amen to that. And one thing for me that makes you never ordinary is you're part of a very small group of NFL players that have had 4 brothers within the NFL.
Yeah.
You're the youngest. You're the last one.
Mm-hmm.
What pride is that, having that Fuller on the back of your jersey, knowing how much and how storied it is within the NFL?
It means a lot. It means a lot just to be able to, share that experience with my brothers. I call them every pregame, every Sunday.
Wow.
I call them, talk to them. And just to be able to feel their love and support. Seeing my nephew grow up, seeing him play football and play sports is something that I don't take for granted. I know it's something that's a blessing to be able to sit in the seat.
For sure. And, you were the little brother in the household, but now you're the big brother for the secondary. Yeah. Talk about this young secondary and the things that you see that give you promise for the future.
Yeah. I see a lot of growth. It's football. At the end of the day, guys are going to make mistakes. That's part of the position that we play. But you see guys learning. You see guys growing. You see guys continuing to compete. And, that's the biggest thing that I love to see, just the growth that we've had. And it's been fun just trying my best to be an example and somebody that they can look up to and follow.
And one of those guys in that secondary is really coming into his own is Cam Curl. Now, you've played corner, nickel, safety, so you've been in those shoes. How cool is it to see Cam Curl really get into his own and really become that dominant safety we all knew he could be?
Yeah, it's been amazing. We seen tape of him a couple weeks ago from his rookie year, and you can just see the growth that he's had each and every year. And I think at times he doesn't get the credit that he deserves. Because he's a heck of a player, heck of a safety, and I think he's one of the best safeties in the game, and I'm excited for him, with his potential free agency coming up and things like that. But to see his growth and see the way that he plays the game the right way. He can do everything out on the field, so he's one of the best safeties out there.
And we're in the final quarter of this season.
Yep.
What can we expect to see from you all to end this year, and what are some of your goals to end this season?
My goal is just for us to just play to our potential.
Yeah.
The only thing I can do is focus on me doing my part, making the plays that I need to make. Something that, for me is just setting the tone for us as a group. Each and every game, all of us will have a play that can set the tone for the game, and us making those plays and us just doing that what we're capable of. Nobody needs to be Superman. Everybody we got a lot of talented guys, so if we all just go out there and play to our capability, we'll go out there and have fun, make plays on the ball. As a corner, that's all you want to do, make plays on the ball and have fun.
And win that turnover battle, right?
Yep.
Amen. Well, hey, man, we appreciate your leadership, man. We appreciate your time, and we also appreciate you for being never ordinary. Thank you, Kendall.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
So great talking to Kendall Fuller, a true leader for this young secondary. Now, we have to go to break, but when we come back, we have the captain, London Fletcher, joining us to talk about who needs to set the tone for this defense. Stay tuned to the Man Center Game Day Live, presented by Northwest Federal Credit Union, the official credit union of the Washington Commanders. It's the only Commanders pregame show. That's right, the only Commanders pregame show, which has your field pass to the action. And, of course, we will not let you miss a moment, even during this commercial break. Stick with us.
Quickly? Football goes by quickly. So cherish every rush pass and rush pass turn pick six with instant withdrawals on FanDuel if you win. Because holiday football won't last forever, and soon it'll just be
March. Bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets if your team wins. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook.
VetTix secures unused event tickets to give back to the military and veteran community. The mission? To strengthen family bonds, build lifelong memories, and encourage service members and vets to stay engaged in their community. Giving out over 15 million tickets since 2008, VetTix continues to give something to those who gave. To find out how you can help give once-in-a-lifetime experiences to our veterans, service members, and their families, visit vettix.org today.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception? First down? Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Oh, game's on. We need more chips. More dip, too.
More?
Yes, more. Oh, that reminds me. We can still score that $400 bonus from Northwest if we hurry. It's with your first ever checking account.
$400? That's the kind of more I like.
Then let's do it. But first, more chips.
To earn bonus, open first ever checking account and deposit at least $500 in ACH or direct deposits per month within the first 90 days. Offer ends November 30. Details at nwfcu.org. Insured by NCUA.
The most rewarding sportsbook is here. With Fanatic Sportsbook, you can earn fan cash back on every bet you make. 5% on same-game parlays, 3% on parlays, 1% on straight bets. You can spend fan cash on jerseys, hats, bonus bets, and more. So win or lose, you always get something back. Welcome to the most rewarding sportsbook. Start earning fan cash now.
Welcome back, Commanders family, to Command Center Game Day Live, presented by Northwest Federal Credit Union, the official credit union of the Washington Commanders. And fellas, it looks like we got a very special delivery before the break, delivered by Grubhub fans. Don't forget to order your unlimited game day spread using the Grubhub QR code. No fees will be applied. And we have a special delivery from a future Hall of Famer, London Fletcher.
I got some fan questions for you.
You got some fan questions? It definitely ain't no food, man. Let's see what we got, man. All right. Oh, we got 2 questions here. Okay, so these are from you guys, man. We appreciate y'all watching on Facebook, YouTube, and X. First question, who needs to step up on this defense? London, I'm going to start with you.
I'm going to say as a unit, the back end needs to step up, especially against these guys. The secondary, they're going to be challenged going against Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. Those guys will definitely need to step their game up.
Tanner, what about you?
Yeah, I say, the guys in the back end as well. I talked about, where I want to see my stars at, but I think, besides those guys up front, finding a way to get Matt off his spot. These guys in the back end just got to hold up. Just hold up. No. Cover your man. Be sticky. Aggravate him a little bit. The speed might not be quite like the Dolphins, but those guys can route you up. So they got to bring their A game today.
I'm gonna go with the guys up front, because as a former quarterback, when a guy moves you off his spot, it's kind of hard to get in rhythm.
Yeah.
And I think if the front guys can get a little pressure on Matthew Stafford, they got Carson Wentz over there too.
Yeah.
They get some pressure on him if he happens to get in the game. Guess what you got? Those guys aren't good under pressure. No. Most quarterbacks aren't. But nobody wants to get hit. Yeah. I don't want to see them out there like they're doing 7-on-7, because if they don't get pressure, I don't think the back end can hold up.
Yeah.
So you have to get some pressure up front to make them have that chance, but they're throwing it a little too soon.
Yeah.
I have to hold on a little longer.
All right, fellas, we got one more from our lovely fans. Who needs to make explosive plays in this game, B-Mitch?
I'm going to go with the 2 guys that I know can make them. Give me Terry McLaurin and Dotson.
Tanner, who needs to make explosive plays today?
What I want to see them from the running backs. I want to see both of those guys relish in this moment. AG, my man Rodriguez. I want to see those guys go out there and relish in this opportunity and really put on for B-Rod. I'm pretty sure they'll make B-Rod proud. They go out there and both of them get in the end zone.
Not only who needs to, but who is going to make explosive plays. Terry McLaurin.
Yeah.
He is going to have a day.
Yeah, he's ready.
He's going to have a day.
And, of course, since we got London Fletcher with us, we will be talking about the defense. But before that, let's take a live look at our guys on the field. Now, remember, these live views from the sideline out at SoFi Stadium are brought to you by Verizon. Verizon, the network Commanders rely on. Now, London, before we get into this defensive conversation, this is very interesting for you because you had a storied career for both of these franchises. What does it mean to be out here right now, seeing the Commanders and Rams getting it on?
Well, I'll say this, just walking into the stadium, seeing our championship banner up there in the rafters, it brought back some memories. And I also saw two of my teammates, former teammates with the Rams, Torrey Holt and Isaac Bruce. You know, you can't help but just kind of go back in time and think about those moments we had together. But hey, man, as I like to tell you, I bleed burgundy and gold.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know, I'm grateful and thankful for those memories in the Super Bowl championship, but you know, you cut me, you're going to get that burgundy blood on you.
Straight up.
Man, we love to hear that. We love that you love the Commanders as much as the Commanders love you. So let's get right into this defense. Now, you weren't with us at the fan rally. We missed you. But during the fan rally, we talked about Sean McVay and his history with Washington. What does Sean McVay bring, and how hard is it to game plan against Sean McVay?
Man, Tanner knows it better than I do, having been on the offensive side. I'll tell you what about Sean. He's so smart. He understands. They don't run as much play action as they used to, but he understands how to take advantage. He's going to put his guys in positions to make plays, and it's going to be Puka and Cooper Kupp. But you know, they've been running the ball well lately. The thing about Sean, they're going to run bootlegs. They're going to get Matthew out on the perimeter, but he's going to take advantage of matchups.
Yeah.
He's going to put, hey, I want this guy against this guy, and Matthew, he has a quarterback that can get his guys the football.
And B-Mitch, London mentioned that quarterback, Matthew Stafford.
Yep.
He silenced a lot of doubters these last few games. He's really been getting off. How do we slow down Matthew Stafford?
Well, you got to get to him.
Yeah.
And I think that's the problem. Matthew Stafford was taking all of the blame, but he wasn't getting protected early on. And if you're not getting protected, I don't care how many years you've been in the league, you're not going to do the things you're supposed to do. Now he's getting protection, and you see he has a big arm, a strong arm. And Sean knows how to decide those pass routes where you're going to get confused in the secondary.
Yes.
And a guy's running free, and Matt gets the ball right there to him. So they're going to have to truly go out there, get pressure on him to affect it.
And how tough is a quarterback like Matthew Stafford?
He's a gunslinger.
Yeah.
So anytime you got a gun, you got a guy or a quarterback that's not scared of what you bring to him, as far as coverage-wise, you got to be ready because he's a guy that he feel like he can fit the ball in any hole. So not only do you have to be ready, just know that you're going to have opportunity or two. You know what I mean? You're going to have some chances to get out to the ball.
And the thing, you know, Matthew's more athletic than you would think. Yeah. There's a bunch of times just recently watching his games, some of his games, and he's avoided the rush. You're like, man, I didn't even realize that. I didn't know he had that in him.
Now, he's a baller, though, man.
And before you got with us, we talked about Jamin Davis not playing anymore. They talked about who needs to step up. Who do you think needs to step up in replace of Jamin Davis?
Well, more than likely it's going to be Khalid Hudson.
Yeah.
You know, he's not as big as Jamin, but he's fast. He's as fast as Jamin. It's an opportunity, great opportunity for him to show what he can do. I don't know, you know, if anybody else is going to fill that role. Maybe you'll play a little bit more dime defense in the sub package. Yeah. But Jamin Davis, it's going to be a huge loss. And I know people say, well, he wasn't playing, you know, like that first-round draft pick. When you turn on the tape, Jamin Davis has made a lot of plays for us, and he's made some major strides.
Yeah.
And one guy we talked about yesterday is Kyren Williams. This running game, Kyren Williams has been getting off when healthy. How do we slow down Kyren Williams, B-Mitch?
Well, that's what I mean by Jonathan. Tanner and I both say Jonathan and Duran.
Yep.
Those guys got to clog that middle up.
Yep.
Okay, and not just stop them. Make sure that you put that offensive lineman into the backfield to make, like, as a running back, when I'm coming, I know I want to cut somewhere. If that offensive lineman is in my spot now, I have to hesitate and stop. If they can begin to do that, now you can have a chance for your linebackers, your DNs to collapse and get them.
You know, switching up some of the fronts, 5-man front, bringing a guy or two here and there, you know, making them see things making them see things where they might have to check out of the run and try to do something different. But I think, you know, one of the things about it is just, you know, mano. These games are won and lost in the trenches.
Yeah.
I mean, whether you showing them something different or not, just win your battle, win your individual battle. And those linebackers, Hudson, one thing I know, every time he got an opportunity, he landed a hat. Yeah. He played like he played back in those days. that dude flies around like a little torpedo. He plays the style of football that you see for those San Francisco linebackers. He put hat on hat. So this is going to be an opportunity for him to make his presence felt. And he has a back that's going to probably get the ball a lot because they're very balanced when it comes to their running pass game.
The thing when you look at the Rams and their running game, they love to run in that C gap, that outside zone, and a lot of times it's the receivers that are serving as the lead blockers, whether it's Puka Nacua or Cooper Kupp. So with those wide receiver inserts, they bring a defensive back into the ball game, and they're forcing them to tackle. Our cornerbacks are going to have to make sure they tackle well. With a guy like Kyron Williams, he breaks a lot of tackles. He's not as big as you think, but he runs and plays a lot bigger than his size would indicate. So our cornerbacks are going to have to be ready to fit in that run and tackle well.
In London, that's perfect, so I'm going to stick with you because you mentioned the quarterbacks. Talk about not having Jamin Davis. But one person we did get back was Emmanuel Forbes Jr. Nacua Kupp. We got a big matchup. He came at the perfect time. Woo! How can Emmanuel Forbes come here and make an impact?
What it does is it allows everybody to kind of go back to playing their normal positions. And more than likely, you'll see Benjamin St. Juste in the nickel position, where we had guys kind of playing out of position. They had Quan Martin playing the nickel, and Quan is a really good player, but we saw when you get him matched up against some of the number one receivers, how that can kind of not go well in our favor. But it allows guys to go back and play in the best position and best role for them. You know, Emmanuel, he's going to be playing with a brace. How is that going to impact him and his ability to be physical with the receivers? That's something we definitely need to keep an eye on.
And Tanner, we talk about Hollywood, a chance to make stars, right? A chance to make a name for yourself. How can Emmanuel Forbes Jr. make a name for himself out here today?
Don't do too much. You know, play within the scheme. I think one of the things that guys like Emmanuel Forbes get their name from is being that guy that every now and then I'm going to go ahead and make a play and I'm going to jump something. But I think you have to play within the confine of your defense. If you're going to do that, know where your protection at, know where your help is at. And I think we've seen this guy play well this year. And then it was just a span of games where they put him on the best guy. And it's hard for anybody to go out there and play against that guy. Right. He's making everybody look bad. Not only those guys who've been in the league long enough, he's embarrassing young guys. So he just so happened to be on the bad side of some, not so good film. So I just say, man, look, play responsible at your position, know where your help is at, and when you know you have protection, somebody's covering you, go out there and make a play.
B-Mitch, add to that about Emmanuel Forbes Jr.
Well, the thing about Emmanuel has a skill set. And Emmanuel played early on against some guys that were much bigger, and they wanted him to play physical with them. He lost that battle. Now he's back. He should be able to understand a little bit about not having to get into that battle every time. Use your feet. That's what he did. He has quick feet. He know how to break on routes. If he can do that, all of a sudden things change up in his favor.
And I'm going to start with you because you was the guy that got after the quarterback. We want to see that, right? We want to win a turnover battle, but we also want to put Matthew Stafford on his back. Who do you expect to be that key player to make those plays and get Matthew Stafford on the ground?
Well, I'm going to go with John Allen. He's a leader. He's the guy that has to be that guy for our team. When you look across the field and you see number 99 for the Rams and what he's able to do, you want to measure yourself against that. And hey, 99 is going to bring it. I need to bring it. I need to be the guy that sets the tone for our defense. He's under fire a little bit. You're talking about Jonathan, with some of the things he said. So he's under pressure to perform at a high level.
Yeah, Tanner, I see you over here jamming out to that ski, that sexy red. I noticed the jam.
Sexy red.
Now, before we move on to break, I got a question for you because KJ Henry, he came over here before the show and gave y'all some love and talked to you guys. Both of you, question for both of you. How cool has it been, B-Mitch, I'm going to start with you, to see KJ Henry really come out to his own after those trades?
Well, when you watch kid, when the kid gets drafted and they come in and like, they're trying to learn how to play at this level.
Yeah.
But all the people outside who don't understand that, they're like, oh, he can't play. But when he got his opportunity, he's made plays. Although he had a stupid call in New England.
We'll never let that go.
The guy just made a tackle and the referee threw a flag. But he has shown that he has a mixture of moves and things in his repertoire that can help him out. So I'm praying going forward, and I'm hoping for the guy to go out there, keep playing like that, and get some more sacks. Tanner's going to get 1 or 2 today.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm calling it.
How important is a guy like KJ Henry for this defense?
I mean, very important. I think when you miss Tez and Sweat, Tez and Young, one of the things that comes to mind is like, who's going to step up? Who's going to fill that void? And when you have the guys like Jonathan and Payne, those guys should be, anybody on the end should be chopping at the bit. Anybody should know that, hey, these guys are going to bring a lot of attention to them. So I should get that favorable matchup where I can go out there and win my battle. I think he showed us a couple of times that he can win those one-on-one matchups. So that's why I'm calling it for him. I'm telling him, hey, we talked to him on the Players Cup a couple of weeks back, man, and he shared some of those experiences about having that opportunity to get his first sack and his first play, and then it taken away from him. But he went out there and he found a way to go out there and get that same feeling again. I want him to have those feelings again today because I think we need a guy like him to step up.
And Commanders family, you not only got astute analysis, you also got some dance moves, man. Let me tell you, London Fletcher been walking since we got into LA. Now we have to go to break, but when we come back, we will have one of my favorite parts of the show, B-Mitch's Big Three.
All righty.
Now, before we go, the stands have been packed at our place this year, and we're excited to keep the building on that energy in 2024. With 5 picks in the first 3 rounds of the 2024 NFL Draft, ample cap space, and 9 regular season games at FedEx Field, there's a lot to look forward to. Guarantee your place at FedEx Field for the 2024 season for just $50 when you place a deposit. To learn more about season ticket benefits and secure your spot in 2024, visit commanders.com/deposits. Command Center on the road in Los Angeles has been brought to you by Northwest Federal Credit Union, the official credit union of the Washington Commanders. Northwest is celebrating Game Day and thanking Commanders fans with a $400 cash bonus when you open your first ever checking account. This is a limited time offer, so do not wait. Visit northwestnwfcu.org/Washington to find out how you can score that cash bonus with your new checking account. Stop searching and go Northwest. We'll be back for this break. Shout out to London Fletcher for joining us.
We're in Prince George's County.
Working for you. Let's go get some breakfast.
Let's go give someone some coffee.
Go make somebody's morning.
How are you?
Barging in.
Want some free coffee in the community? Okay.
I don't want anything else but Channel 4. You're my family.
We are literally working for you. Who wants hash browns? Order up.
This is the team that helps me rise and shine.
We love News 4 Today.
We're News 4 Today. Working for you.
You're going to like this story because it's about you. You who forgot to charge your phone last night. You who sprints to the boarding line so your bag will fit. You with him. Until one day you boarded a United plane that was designed for, well, you. And your phone got charged, your bag fit, so did everyone else's, but this story isn't about them. Your toddler didn't tantrum, and you got to fly happily ever after. The end.
The final stone of the championship.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary.
Roger, this is looking good.
We believe every moment in sports should be epic.
Is that curling?
No.
This morning's news, curling fever has taken over the world.
So whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Hey, it's me, food. I'm so much more than just what we eat. I'm hand-cut, fresh and frosted. I love it. Aw, I love you too. See, life is always something new. All messy, frantic, and amazing. And from where I sit, you look delicious. That's why every day is worth celebrating. If you can. Stay fresh. Sincerely, food. Sincerely, Safeway.
Command Center Game Day Live is brought to you by Northwest Federal Credit Union, the official credit union of the Washington Commanders. Northwest is celebrating Game Day and thanking Commanders fans with a $400 cash bonus when you open your first ever checking account. This is a limited time offer, so do not wait. Visit northwestnwfcu.org/Washington to find out how you can score that cash bonus with your new checking account. And remember, stop searching and go Northwest. Now, we are just a few minutes away from kickoff out here in beautiful Southern California. This live looks are brought to you by Verizon. Verizon, the network Commanders rely on. Brian Cole Jr. here with Super Bowl champion Brian Mitchell, Mr. 8 to the 9, Santana Moss. And fellas, it's one of the best parts of the show right here. It is time for P. Mitch's Big Free. It is time to play fast, win fast, brought to you by Maryland Lottery Fast Play Games. Play fast, win fast today, but please play responsibly. B. Mitch, it's all you, baby.
Well, I think we go right off the bat, and we talked a lot about it already, okay? And you heard me talk about Aaron Donald. we have to limit his impact on this game. If Aaron Donald's name is being called a lot, we're going to have problems. And I think we go out there, we saw him working out. They have to make sure he doesn't have the impact, because that dude can play some football.
And then one of the things about him, he's going to have his way at times. He's just one of those kind of players. He's a phenomenal talent. And so with that being said, offensively, we have to scheme up some things where we can attack what he does well. You know what I mean? Kind of bring the pressure to him a little more than allow him to bring it to us. So, yeah, he's a guy that you got to mostly contain, because you're probably not going to stop him.
And the next one, we can't stop Nakua and Cup, but we have to limit them some. Those guys are going to have unbelievable games. I think they throw the ball to them every play or every other play. You have to go out there and make sure they're going to get a lot of targets. Once they catch it, tackle them. Don't allow them to run after the catch, because what they do well, they get a ball and they go. They get a ball and they go. If you can stop them when they catch it, then you have a better chance.
Man, both of those guys are so savvy. I mean, Puka, just knowing that he's a rookie and he just is as savvy as, Cooper, I mean, it's scary. It's scary. And he's probably a little faster than Cooper. But, man, you just got to be sticky in the back end, man. Be disruptive back there. When those guys do make catches, hit them. Hit them. Make sure they know that, hey, you better be looking for me next time.
There you go.
I just feel like certain times or certain players is going to make plays, but make sure you're there every time. Be a pest. Be a net.
This last one, we say it every week, and it is meant every week because it's that important. You have to win the turnover battle if you're going to have any turnovers at all. And I take that one step forward by saying you can't have mental lapse in this game. A fumble is a mental lapse. Okay, you run into crowd, you got one hand on the ball. You start to put the ball up too soon. You need to make sure you control that football. I've watched this team all year. When they don't make mistakes against themselves and turn the ball over, they have a chance in those games. So if they go out there today and play well, don't turn the football over, don't make those mental mistakes, they have a chance to win this game.
I think that's great. I always like to end with that. Offensively, we can't be sitting in those situations where we turn the ball over. And defensively, we've got to create our own turnovers. I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen us with a turnover or two, so especially the interception. So we have to go out there defensively and create those turnovers, and offensively, don't give them up, baby.
B. Mitch, an excellent big three, fellas. We have had a fun show. We laughed, we danced, and we talked football. We get in some more dance moves over there. But, fellas, before I let you guys go, let me get your final thoughts on this matchup before kickoff starts, B. Mitch.
But listen, like I said earlier about that 12 strong men, when I watched that, they had an impossible task going to do what they were doing. But they took care of each other. And I look at this game today, I think many people think it's an impossible task for the Commanders. But you know what? If everybody stick together and be accountable to each other, you can go and get the same type of outcome. Win this game when nobody think you will.
Yeah, it's about mindset, man. I think, one of the things everybody want to say is where we at. You only got 4 games left. All the stuff that they're talking about that's going on with our organization, with our coaching staff. But as a player, man, we still got to go out there and work.
There you go.
We still got to go out there and show and make sure that we holding on to our end of, of our bargain. Mindset. Go out here with that mindset that you're not going to be denied what you want. And, hey, who knows? Anything is possible.
Go out there, everybody's mindset to be able to say, I'm him.
I'm him. I love it. And we have some Command Center family back in Ashford. As you remember, Logan Paulson and Fred Smoot are out there. So, fellas, what are your final thoughts on this matchup?
All right, Brian, thanks so much. And this is our final predictions here from Ashburn, right? And it's always fun talking about these games. You get so excited right before kickoff, right? So for me, I think one group that I'm looking at with both eyes open is that offensive line. And it's because of how it affects Sam Howell, right? I think if that group can protect, mitigate the effectiveness of Aaron Donald, give Sam Howell an opportunity to throw the football down the field the way we've seen him throw the football, I think there's big plays to be had against this defense. And this offense, when they hit those big plays, has been very, very effective. So that's what I'm looking for today.
Going to L.A., I think our stars need to be stars. I think I need Payne to show up. I need Allen to show up. I need Terry to show up. If you got a C on your jersey, I need you to show up. The stars shine bright in L.A. We cannot wait. Back to you guys in L.A.
Great to hear from our guys out in Ashford. I know they jealous that they ain't in the sunshine like us. We got the shades on. We're chilling.
Fred, I see you at Velocity 5 later.
Well, that's all we have for now. We are out in L.A. here, Commander State. Thank you for joining us. But stick with us for post-game because we will give you all the analysis you need. You'll hear from head coach Ron Rivera and our quarterback Sam Howell. Until then, we hope the Commanders fans, y'all having a great time. We will see y'all in a moment.
Get the dub.